Been laid off close to 4 months now, starting over at 30. Welcome back to my video. If you haven't watched my videos, I'm Melvin. I do a lot of fashion travel content, and this year I'm turning 30, and by this time this video is uploaded, I think I've turned 30. So my birthday is July. I'm a Leo, as you can tell. And recently I've been laid off for close to 4 months now. And I just wanted to update you guys on, starting over as 30, the challenges we face. I think a lot of people, like you guys, are also struggling with like unemployment and, trying to navigate the adulting life and what's next for you guys. So I hope this video helps knowing that someone out there is feeling the same as you. I started my first job when I was 27 and I was working in a bank. So I was an intern and then slowly I got converted naturally. I didn't have to find a job, which was something I'm very grateful for. So I did an internship and then I became a full-timer, and that was a role in a bank. And I worked for 2 years, close to 3 years before I got laid off. And how it happened was during the last week of March. I already knew this was coming because we had like global restructuring happening. And the last week of March, this new director who came in to do this restructuring actually contacted me through Teams. And then he told me like, can we have a session to chat later at 2 p.m? And I already knew that was gonna happen, right? So then I was like, I think nothing to fear. Whatever happens, we just move on, right? So I was pretty chill about it. That was on a Monday. And then fast forward, they told me that the last official day was Friday, but I have some leaves to clear. So I think my last day was Wednesday. So effectively 2 days later, I'm out of the whole company. Just happened that my friend was traveling. So I immediately booked like a flight to join her, which is where you see it in the Shanghai vlog. So as I mentioned, I was retrenched because my company was going through a very big reorg. It's not based on performance. A lot of people also got laid off, and I think I was one of the most junior one, being there for only 2 years-ish to 3. There were people that worked over 20 years that got retrenched, so you can imagine how they felt. So I think a lot of people will be curious about this because I think it's all about like at the end of the day, were you fairly treated, right? So there was compensation, but according to the local guidelines, right? Usually if you work a minimum of 2 years, you are kind of required to follow the guidelines to pay a 1 month severance for every 1 year that the employee worked. For mine, it was sort of aligned to the guidelines that the government provided. That was sufficient enough to cover the trauma, I guess. But there was no trauma, honestly. I felt like it was a good place and I didn't hate corporate work at all, which is why I think now I don't feel like there was a thing about like escaping the corporate life at all, because I left at a very good place. So next topic, I want to talk about what am I doing right now as for my personal development, what's next for me, right? So after I quit, actually in total of 2 months, I went to 7 countries. Let me count. I went to China, so Shanghai, Wuxi, Suzhou for 1 trip, and I had a Korea trip scheduled long ago. So I went Jeju and Korea together, and then after that I did my Europe trip, London first, then Paris, and then Zurich, and then Abu Dhabi. So that's 6. But if you add like the Doha transfer, then that's 7, right? So I would say 7, but yeah, not all of them were like holidays. That was a lot of travel. So I'm done with traveling, honestly. Like I'm here back just trying to develop like what's the next steps going ahead. What I'm doing next, I'm actually a content creator right now. I'm trying to double down my efforts. So like this is something that I do, like a YouTube video to just chat with you guys. Yeah, try to grow the channel. So really appreciate if you could subscribe, like and comment on all my platforms. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, anything you think of, I'm trying to be there. So if you watch my rental video, you have known that I hold a real estate license. That's 2 years ago, but I didn't have time to practice it. And I know a lot of you guys trying to look for rental properties. Unfortunately, I want to take this video to tell you guys that I'm no longer doing like room rentals because the return on investment is just not there. So now I'm just focusing on unit rentals, like the entire flat rentals, and also buy and sell transactions for both private and public properties. I've also been clearing my YouTube backlog. So I think over the past few months after traveling, I managed to, sit down and edit my vlogs, especially the Shanghai vlog and the Korea vlog. And I'm trying to do more lifestyle daily vlogs, which serves like as a journal for me to keep it as my memory. I understand that like travel vlogs can be quite specific or niche and boring. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below whether what types of vlogs you guys like, or you want like topic-based vlogs, questions. And for personal development, I'm actually learning motorbike now because I said that in my New Year resolutions 2024 video, and now I finally got the time to take lessons because honestly lessons are so hard to book. For me, I'm not ultimately looking to buy a bike. I just want to learn like as a skill so that I can do it overseas. So you have also noticed that I'm trying to grow my TikTok. I've been posting more on TikTok. I try to post like at least once a week. Sometimes I have fresher ideas, more interesting ideas, then I'll post more. But in the past, I barely check my TikTok, which is why my description is like I check my TikTok once a week. It's true. So do follow me on my TikTok channel. I hope to see you guys there. I'm trying to develop myself mentally and also physically. So mentally, recently I've been working on my attachment style issues. So I realized that I have anxious attachment. I don't know, it's common for, I think more common for girls to have anxious attachment. But for me, like because of my childhood issues, like I realized that like I have anxious attachment, and it's something that I am working on so that, my future partner doesn't have to deal with it so much. So I might cover this as an entire topic on TikTok or subsequent videos, but if you also have the same issue, leave a comment below and let's work on it together. So for physical side, because of the flexible routine now, I can go to classes every single day. So I have like classes every day in the morning. If not, I will go to the gym every in the morning before I start my day. And honestly, I start my day quite late. I wake up like around 8:30 to do like 1 hour of fitness routine before I start my day. But that routine gives you a lot of structure to your life, because as an unemployed or self-employed, you got to create like routines for yourself. If not, like the time just flies super fast. Like with the blink of an eye, 1 month has passed without you completing anything. So I would say time blocking is very important. I will cover it in the next video on like a routine as like a freelancer or a content creator. That's going to be another video. About what is coming next for me is I am actually still looking for a corporate role. Actually, my background is in IT. So I studied information system. I did like machine learning, blockchain, and whatever, all sorts of like technical stuff. I also was working as a DevOps engineer for a while. Not that I'm super proficient, but my interest doesn't lie in that area, unfortunately. And I wanted to pursue something that is still within the financial industry. I'm actively applying. Sometimes you just get very jaded because of how the market is not going well for everyone, not just me. Everywhere is restructuring. So yeah, it's difficult, I must say. While now doubling down on like this content creator journey, I'm still trying to pivot back to corporate, but no rush, because as I said in the earlier part of this video, I'm just trying to spend more time developing myself in many ways, as I covered. So yeah, when that opportunity comes, then let it be. Else then no pressure, no rush. I don't have a mortgage to pay. And I'm also busy planning my birthday party, which is going to be at Lombok. So Lombok is some island in Indonesia. A lot of people don't know that's where Mount Rinjani is. It's like Bali, but 10 years ago. So it's developing, but not as developed. So there are a lot of like beautiful resorts there. So you can check it out. I think that's going to be a next video. Alright, so on the financial aspect, I think a lot of people are curious. So like once you leave the job, then what happens, right? I am surviving on the severance pay, and also like because I had 2 months notice period. So that 2 months that I went traveling was actually still getting salary, but yeah, I'm not working in the office. And now I'm just thriving on my other sources of income. So I do like shoots, I do like campaigns, I do like real estate and stuff. So that still works out to quite a sustainable bit. I'm not gonna die. I mean, I still have my rent to pay, but thankfully my rent is cheap, as you might know from my previous video. Alright, so if you are in the same situation as me, don't worry. I know that financially it's honestly the biggest consideration, but if you have enough for your family, if you have enough savings to sustain, then I really think you should take your time to live life, because you never know when's the next time you're gonna be this free and free from responsibility, like I did in a reel. Like, you're gonna be this young only once. The price of your time now is worth way more than your price in your 50s or 60s, because you cannot do the things that you can do now in a later date. So if I were to buy time now, it's going to be so expensive, like across your time horizon. The price I would pay to buy time in my 20s will be so much more than I pay to buy in my 60s. But of course, from a different objective, because 60s I'm trying to buy time to delay aging. But in 20s I'm just trying to buy time to relive the greater experiences, the ability to like run fast, to laugh and hang out with friends that are around the same age. So if you're like me, unemployed and free, do create a schedule for yourself. I recommend time boxing. So really write down a list of things that you want to do daily and put it into your schedule. So let's say 1 hour gym and then next hour eat, regardless of whatever it is, because once you tell yourself you're going to do it, you're going to forget it, and you're going to take your own sweet time to complete it, which is very ineffective, because at the end of the day you might not even do it and just bring forward to the next day, which is not something you want. So using time box routine, have a workout routine, meet your friends, invest in yourself. That's how you spend time. So like maybe learn a new language, or take some courses, or like pick up a new sport, like I don't know, surfing, paddleboarding, diving. Do something you're passionate about, instead of using the time thinking that I need to get like a new certification so that I can find a new job. Yes, that might be true, but ultimately it's something that you're just torturing yourself with, and not enjoying this time. And it's going to be just a painful time that doesn't need to be painful. It's already painful. It doesn't have to be more painful than this. Thank you for watching this far. I hope this video resonated with you guys and you've enjoyed it. And I hope to see you on the next one. Let's stay strong.